Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Andy Jenkinson, the Caravan industry expert. Well, look, this is a time capsule, a mobile time capsule. I just love the fact that it's very original. No one's come and made it into pink and tried to do anything silly with it. It's had one owner from new for many years. Somebody else then bought it and decided to sell it on pretty quickly, and Tommy thankfully bought it because Tommy is really into keeping his fan as original as he can, and I think he definitely will. He's a real 70s fan. And there's lots of good things about 70s, lots of bad things as well. It wasn't all the best things. I've just signed two books, the story of the touring caravan, and also the caravaning in the 1970s, which is right up his street. I think he's looking about getting the static caravan book next, which I said I think he would find interesting, but then again I'm selling it. But sitting in here just reminds me back, I suppose, a bit of nostalgia, going back to when I was a young lad and going in the caravans. You know, mum and dad maybe talking to salesmen, I'd be diving in these caravans and looking around and taking note. I wish I'd had a camera at that time. I wish I'd had a video camera. I'd have loved to have filmed them. But do you know what? This is absolutely, this caravan still feels very solid. It really does. It does feel a solid little tourer. I'm just glad that Tommy's got it and found it, because Cavaliers were a very popular tour, as I said before, but very few of them now survive around. I do know someone who's got a twin axle one, and I'm hoping to get to go and see him at some stage. But he's been a bit of a hard guy to track down, and I don't know if he'd want me to do a video, but I'd try and persuade him if possible. I'm just going to slide that back on there. Look at this, it's just pure 70s nostalgia, but it stood the test of time. It just shows, doesn't it, if a caravan is looked after. I mean, this is 1970s technology, it's 50 years ago over, and if they're looked after, they'll go on and on and on. A modern tour now should go on for 60-70 years. Anyway, I'm going to have a look round, and I'm just going to do a quick thing out there as well. I'm not going to have the sound on. I'm just going to do a quick glide around, and then I'm going to have a quick chat with Tommy. Alright, let's go outside. Well, actually I've decided I'm going to have a little talk about this on the outside. Blow it. Right, square box, round corners, produces lots of space inside. That was a Cavalier profile, very popular. Decent headroom inside as well. But I'm looking on the outside of this van. Obviously original windows. No banded size, coach built as they all were then. But it's in really lovely condition. It's had an awning up. There's some studs here, obviously for the wheel cover. And round the back here, it's all got the original road lights. Look at that. I just think it's fantastic. The only thing it has lost is the Cavalier badge, but I think actually you could get that redone and get it stuck on if you get a copy. And I've got copies of the Cavalier badge. Now Tommy has got he's got a few bits of things on this. Got the brochure, which I'm glad about. Cavalier brochure, bit of a handbook, and it is a very original tourer. Look at that. Look at that. That is pure 70s. Just seeing that and remembering what these were like when they were sat on the dealer's forecourts new. But under here, I'll just show you what this bit is. Don't forget there was no auto reverse on these like there is today. Instead, you had to pull this catch over to stop the damper going back and putting the caravan's brakes on. Not until 74, when the Sigma hitch turned up, that you could have auto reverse. So a lot of people never bothered, just unhitched them and pushed it into position. The cover and the gas bottle locker are extras. That wasn't standard at that particular year. Now this is a bit of an interesting thing here. Look at this. The grab handles are only small, but those are sturdy. They are really, really tight. But this, now, if you see caravans going around today with covers on the front, that's to stop them getting dents. Now there is a few little stone dents in here, but after 50 years you'd expect that. But most of the stone dents were actually done at the bottom. So what Astral caravans in the early 60s did, they came up with this stucco aluminium unpainted and put this on the bottom. It was soon copied by many of the manufacturers. Some manufacturers took it right up to here, in fact. But that effect was on caravans for many, many years, and that was the reason to stop to show any stones being being dented in, and also it was a bit thicker gauge aluminium on there. So that's a bit of a history lesson for you. So they used to put covers on the front. Some people would put a cover on the front, but then those, it wasn't. Now it's become almost a fashion thing. But that was down to Bailey with their problem with the Pegasus, because of course they were using back to aluminium at the front end, and of course they didn't realise stones pinged, and then they put those plastic, do you remember those plastic things they put on the front, which were sort of tried to, and they faded after a while. But anyway, so that's why you got those covers come back again. People put them on, they don't really need them on a GRP caravan. Now one journalist said to me, yeah, what happens if a stone goes in through your window? Well, in 30 odd plus years of towing, I've never had that ever happen. I've never seen anybody that happen. I've never seen actually anybody come and say to me, by the way, I had a stone through my window. That would be very unlucky. Let's look at this lovely 70s caravan, which is just brilliant. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get Tommy to have a look with me on this. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I've not quite finished. I'm going to have a quick interview with Tommy, and that is the bunk there. That's what you had. That's quite heavy as well, because they used to use, those are steel. They used to use aluminium usually, poles, but those are steel. So I'm going to have a word with Tommy. He's bringing me a nice cup of tea. That was brilliant. And I've signed his books, as I said before. So I'm now going to have a quick word with him, because I think it'd be interesting to speak to the owner on this one. What do you think? And then we'll wrap the video up. As you can tell, I'm self-indulgent on these older vans, but I want people to be interested, because it's a passion. You know, this is just a passionate thing of mine, and you know, as I say, I'm a writer and I'm a YouTuber second. But this is the way I can get my old stuff across, because the way things publishing's gone these days, you know, this is getting a wider audience, and I want people to recognise the caravan industry, its heritage, and vans like this are rare. And if anybody finds one, you want to keep it in, you know, get in touch with me, let me know, and if I can come, I'll come and video it, and I'll come and have a look, and I'll give you some advice and everything, and I'll probably got the brochure on it too. Anyway, I'll track down Tommy. Well, I'm back in the Cavalier, and I'm now with Tommy. Bit out of puff, because I'm a bit excited. I've been sort of rushing around, and it's like really, yeah, I just love it. So we're going to have a quick word with Tommy and ask him all about his Cavalier. Let's go.
Hello, I'm Tommy, and this is my 1972 Cavalier 1200S.
Right, Tommy, what do you like about this caravan? What made you buy this caravan?
I love the 1970s, and this caravan is an original condition caravan, and I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it.
So what do you like about the 70s?
Oh, the 70s, it's the colours, it's the music, it's the fashions, it's everything. Yeah, what can I say? I've just always liked the 70s, and then one day I saw this caravan, and it was just a bit of me, especially being in original condition like this. I just, you know, I'm so glad to have it.
So where did you see it for sale, Tommy? Because, you know...
Yeah, you
don't see many, do you?
No, you don't see too many older caravans, and it was actually in Adam Gumtree, and it came all the way from Bedford, so Bedford to Wigan. It's travelled quite a bit to get up here. So yeah, here it is.
And what would you say is the big attraction to this caravan for you?
For me, it's the condition. It's the fact that it's in original condition. Just because you don't really see many like this. A lot of the older caravans. When I was looking for a caravan, a lot of the older ones I was seeing, they were pretty much an original shell, and they'd all been, it was more like a retro theme, whereas this is a completely, it's as it was in 1972. You know, the way we're seeing this caravan today in 2023, it's just as you would have, you know, 50 odd years ago, and that's just what I loved about it.
I mean, were you aware, Tommy, that actually Cavalier were as popular as they were?
I don't think I had an idea just how popular Cavalier were. But I've since learned that they were really, they sold a lot back then, and it's just a shame. It's a real tragedy that there are not that many left.
So it's in nice original condition. I mean, I've just been looking around it before, and I must admit, I'm just sort of bowled over with it. For me, this would be sort of like, well, my wife wouldn't allow it. She'd just say, "Oh, I'm not going in there." But I could quite happily sit in this on site and chat away to people, and hopefully, stir a few memories. So, do you want to actually go out and use it at some stage?
Definitely, I can't wait to use this. Absolutely can't wait. I can't wait to take it to different sites, and I wouldn't mind taking it to a few, classic caravan shows, and people are more than welcome to come in and see what it was like.
Well, I would say you've definitely got a rare event here by a long chalk. So does that sort of thing make you feel a bit sort of a little bit smugger with getting this?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, when I first got the van, it was pretty much just as this, but there was a lot of tidying up. There was a lot of grime that I had to clean. It's definitely a project, this, for me. But I'm just glad I've got everything is here pretty much that I can work with. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. And
regarding any original documentation, did it come with some?
It does. It came with an original brochure, and also original ephemera on the grill, and just a few other bits and pieces like that. So this car, I was very lucky in a way, because it came with a lot of original paperwork.
Right, Tommy. Well, I think we're going to wrap that up, because I could stop here all night talking to you about the industry and probably send you to sleep, and probably half of Wigan too. And to be quite honest, as I say, I think you've done really well. Yes, it does need a little bit of TLC, I think, in parts.
It does.
But at 50 odd, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, considering the age of it, I know there is some damage, obviously, with here along the windows. But it's 90% of it's there, and it's quite hard to find something 50 odd years old that's 90% there.
Right. Well, look, we've spoken to Tommy, and it was great for Tommy to do that. So thank you for his time, and thank you for his time as well for letting us have a look at this real gem of a Torah, a real time capsule. I'm hoping there's a lot of older caravanners out there, people like, and don't take this badly, Colin Mew, because I know that you like this sort of thing, so I'm hoping that you'll give me some feedback on this and tell me you remember them, and anybody else there, or anybody who had an auntie and uncle or parents had a Cavalier, it'd be really good to know. I know they had an owners club, they had a strong owners club. One of my old caravan journalist friends, a guy called Reg Batchelor, now longer with us, not been long with us for some years now, unfortunately, and Reg was one of the key people in the Cavalier Owners Club, and also I think my parents had some friends, yes they did, who also had a Cavalier, and they were a very strong Cavalier Owners Club, and they had several Cavaliers. That's how popular they were. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please press the subscribe button, costs nothing. Please like, and if you want more of this type of video, please just say, because I just love doing them. And anyway, from Wigan, inside this 1972 Cavalier 200S, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for watching. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one. Bye.